Because in school there could be bullying, there could be, they'll be taught violence, they'll be taught bigotry and all kinds of things. With or without good teachers, because it's in the culture. Those people ultimately still are responsible. My father was the most bigoted, violent, hateful man you could possibly imagine, and I don't want to go into that, but I just knew he was wrong. How did I know he was wrong? I don't know how I knew, but he was wrong, and I didn't like his zillions of biases and statements. I didn't like the way he treated my mother or the way he treated us. Why do some people go, this just isn't right, and I'm not buying into it? And other people go, I'm going along with it. I don't know how it happens, but we are ultimately all responsible for actions. The thing, in case you don't know it, I am the most total Jesus freak, sold out to Jesus guy in this whole creation. I love Jesus! And I didn't know him. Yikes. I didn't know him. Total stranger to me. In that place, I called out to him because my parents didn't go to church much, but they used to drop us off at church when we were little kids, because back in the 50s and early 60s, that's what the culture said. Nowadays, the Sunday schools are empty. I mean, all the preachers I know, well, not all of them, but almost all of them are like, we have almost no kids, we have no Sunday school program. A few do. And when I was a kid, we were taught about Jesus, and most especially that song that I can't ever get through without weeping, and that is, Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. I won't sing it all to you, but I could. And so, when I was a little boy, and the alligators, and the lions, and the tigers, and the bears that came out of the closets and out of the hall, and came into my room, and were snapping around my bed, trying to bite my feet. Now, you all know what I'm talking about, right? And I had the covers up over my head, and I had my little stuffed dog Flicker. By the way, I still got Flicker in my dressing drawer. He's got a broken neck, but like that. I got Flicker under my arm, and I used to ask Jesus to save me, to protect me, to get rid of him. And you know what? He always did. I mean, he was steady, and faithful, and trustworthy, true. That's what I had. That's all I had down in that place. And I called on him, and he came and took me out of that place. And he gave me a life review. He answered every question I had. And he told me what to do. Now, we're going to go a little bit longer. We're going to go a little longer because we started a little late. Okay. I got a time guy here. He's a buddy. What? Yeah. So, one of the questions I asked Jesus when he told me I had to do a redo, I mean, he didn't say redo, and he didn't say it's a reset, but just to be hip, I'm saying it was a redo. Because I wanted to go to heaven. He said, you can't go to heaven, you got to come back here and try and do it right, the way God created you to be in the first place. I said, what do you want me to do? And before he had a chance to answer, I told him what he would want me to do. I haven't been completely transformed yet. A bit of arrogance in that, a lot of arrogance in that. And I said, I'm going to build you this fantastic monument, and it's going to be so freaky and weird and wonderful and artsy. I said, I'm an artist. I'm going to make this thing, and people are going to come from all over the world. And it's going to be Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. And he said, and Jesus said to me, please don't do that. And I said, well, they build cathedrals and shrines and all those things. And he said, those are for people. They're not for me. I don't need that stuff. I don't really want that stuff. And I said, so what do you want me to do? And he said, love the person you're with. Now, you're hearing this from Jesus' lips. Well, actually, this is all telepathic, but let me just say, from Jesus' lips to my ears, from my lips to your ears. And this is flat out what happened. I'm not simplifying, I'm not elaborating. I'm telling you exactly what happened. And he said, love the person you're with. And I said, what good will that do? And he said, it'll change the world. We were just talking about this at dinner, right? Where's our dinner? And I said, how's that going to change the world? And he said, if you love the person that you're with, they'll go out and they'll take that love to somebody else, and then that person will take that love to somebody else, and that person, he didn't use this term, but basically the ripple effect. And I'm like, okay, now I got Jesus. Now I'm going to pin him. I'm going to pin Jesus. And I said, yeah, what if that person goes out and gets hit by a truck? There's no plane there. And he said, you're not the only one. And I said, well, who else is in this? And he said, there's millions. And I said, not enough. And I told, at the time, I think I told Jesus there were 6 million people in the world. It was just 1985. 6 billion people in the world. And he said, there's billions of angels in the plan. And I said, really? Billions? Because I didn't know there was I thought angels were a fantasy, even though I'd already met some. You see, yeah, there's billions. You all know that you don't have an angel. You have a team of angels. I don't know where that misconception came that we all have our guardian angel. We have our guardian angel team. And I got to meet my angel team. By the way, what you're reluctant or shy to ask God, don't hesitate to ask your angels. You can ask them stuff that you wouldn't want to ask God. Go ahead and ask them anything stupid, silly, frivolous, whatever. It doesn't mean they're going to do it, but it's like they're not going to judge you. Angels are very, very sweet. They're just adorable. And I said, even with billions of angels and millions of people, I said, you have no idea how evil the world is. I don't think it's going to work. And Jesus pulled out his ace of spades out of the deck and said, it's God's plan. Okay. So that ended that argument. Is it fair that Jesus could say that's God's plan? It's like kind of bringing out like a howitzer to kill a fly or something. Boom. So that's what. So he said he got me to agree to come back, and I came back, and I went through a lot of stuff. That was in '85. This is 2018. 33 years almost. And I am a novice, I'm a baby, I'm a junior at learning how to love. But I got him. Right? I got him. He's pretty simple. He's like, what don't you understand, stupid? About loving. Just go love. Accept people where they are. Now, Pat would not accept abusive behavior. I would like to think, I don't know if this is true because it's never happened, but if you started hitting me, I'd like to think Pat would fight you. Pat, are you listening? I'd like to think you'd defend me. No, I've never been in a situation, but I know he would definitely be upset. I know he wouldn't like it, so I am not recommending that we accept abusive behavior. I was talking that with a police officer earlier today who's here. I think that we have to set very strong standards and enforce them. And then unfortunately, there's a lot of people in society that don't respect what I consider to be pretty simple standards like stealing and killing and fraud and things like that. And it's like, what don't you get about this stuff? They think they can get away with it. They need to be stopped, and their behavior needs to be rectified. As I said to the officer earlier today, I think that we could do a better job with rehabilitation in the prison, but that's a whole other issue. I believe strong. I mean, I support my police. I want them to be strong. The town that I live in, Fort Thomas, Kentucky, is almost crime-free. Almost a crime-free town. We've got a great police force, and they're very well paid, and they're highly respected. I had a guy pull a gun on me for no good reason. I went to the police, and he didn't go to jail, but he regrets the day that he ever did that, because they came down on him. They scared him, which is what I wanted them to do. Like, you just don't go pulling your gun around because you've got some, rage problems. Anyways, we have to care about morality. This is this corny Christian thing that I subscribe to. Hate the sin and love the sinner. And I try to practice that, and I believe in that. And I think that love is if you met someone that's behavior is unacceptable, that either you, if you have the opportunity, or get the proper authorities, like for example, zero tolerance on wife abuse. Okay? You don't tolerate it. You don't go, oh, you shouldn't do that. Bye-bye, have a nice day. And I know I'm almost out of time, but I got to tell you a quick story. So I've done a lot of 27 mission trips to San Victor, Belize, which is a little Mayan village. And one time I was there, the Maya never want to tell you anything bad, and they only want to tell you good stuff. So like for me to get like the real scoop on stuff is like, you got to build a huge amount of trust, and it's like pulling teeth. But finally, Amarillo Tech, my main woman in San Victor, wife of Armando Tech, my main man, she said, Pastor, there's some men in this village that on Friday night after they get paid, cutting cane, they get drunk and they go home and beat their wives. I said, why do they beat their wives? And they said, because their fathers beat their wives. And I said, are these good women? I mean, do they do anything to deserve a beating? And they go, no, they just do it because it's like, and then they get together and they brag about it with the other guys. This is just a few men in the village, not everyone. And so I said, well, we got to come up with a strategy, because you can fix things without violence. And this is a real example. So I went to bed and I said, God, give me a solution. Give me a way to stop this violence against women. Because I don't know what to do. You know what my solution was? You know what I thought of? We'll identify all the men that do this. We'll get them together, and I'll get the good men of the village, and we'll beat them out of them. Just so they'll know what it's like to get beaten. Right? I mean, we'll pound them within an inch of the door. That was my idea. I thought God might have a better one. I don't know, So I went to bed. 2 o'clock in the morning, I woke up with this plan, which at 5 o'clock in the morning, when I had my coffee with Amarillo and Armando in their house, 5 a.m., I told them, here's the plan. We spread it around the village that men that beat their wives have very tiny little cojones. Comprende? Huh? You all know? Yeah. I don't have to spell it. Thank you. In a machismo culture, and these are pretty machismo guys, right? You don't talk about little cojones. That's going to get you punched up. Going to get you beat up. And I said, I want all the men in this village who are not beating their wives to spread it around that a man that does that must have small cojones, because a real man has not only respect for his wife, but he earns her respect by treating her respectfully. A real man doesn't beat his wife because there's no respect. And believe me, Latino people understand respect, honor, you know, it's huge. So I'm talking about cojones, and I'm talking about this is all from God at 2 o'clock at night. I mean, it clear as a bell to me. So then I say and the other part of it is we've got to get the women to start talking about this publicly. Because one of the reasons why it was going on is because there was a code of silence. You know, the women would go see their neighbor lady on Saturday morning and her face is all black and blue and her nose is broken and stuff like that. And I'm like, what happened? Oh, no, I fell down. You know, I said, so we've got to get the women to talk about it, and they've got to stand up for each other, and they've got to be able to tell the men, no more. We will not tolerate this anymore. And then I told them about the Greek ladies, but mine escapes me at the minute about what the, you don't know what I'm talking about, the Greek women who, what? No, the women who decide to shut the men off.
Yeah, they refuse to have sex with the men.
What?
They refuse to have sex with the men.
Yeah, until the men change their behavior. So I said, and then that would be another strategy. So I said to him earlier, what do you think? Do you think this will work? And Armando said, this could work. I said to Armando, do you think this will work? Will you do this? And he said, I think it'll work. So they did that. Now, the next time I went down there was 6 months later on another mission trip, and I said to Armando and Enrile, tell me about the men beating up women. And they said, it stopped. There's no more. And I said, come on. Truly, honestly, are you saying that to please me, or is it that real? And they said, no, no more. It stopped. Men will not do that anymore. So, the point of this story, I mean, it's not going to work for all terrible behavior, criminal behavior, but we can actually do things that don't require violence. And I got this all from God. You can find solutions. I just read the most wonderful book. I finished it this morning. He's not helping me with my memory tonight. I'm getting old. Patrick, come on. I talked about it earlier today. What?
Same kind of different as me.
Same kind of different as me. Thank you, Trisha. I'm going to give you a chocolate later. Read Same Kind of Different as Me. How many of you read that book? Awesome. I really cannot recommend it highly enough. And it's all about how to change the world. Now, my friend Tricia over there is from Fort Worth. She knows that mission.